Good morning, guys. All right, so I want to talk about vertex form. And our vertex form is f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k, where h and k is the vertex. So h and k, you can pull those right out of your equation, and you already know where your vertex will sit. All right, when we look at vertex form, we have an a, an h, and a k. Our parent function is f of x equals x squared. So this is where we start. And then when we change a, h, and k, our parent function moves left, right, up, down, and it may change the shape. It also may flip over the x-axis. So a tells us some very important information. If a is positive, you have a regular parabola. It looks like a U, but it's not a U. If it is less than 0, that's when we reflect over the x-axis, and we're an upside down parabola. H tells us if we move left to right, and I tell my students that x always lies, okay? So when I say x lies, so if you have x minus h squared, I'm telling you that minus h is actually going right. And that's because when you set x minus h to 0, you're going to add the h to both sides, and you get a positive h. So whichever way you want to remember that, either set it equal to 0, or you can just remember, okay, x lies. If this says negative 2, I know I go right 2, okay? The k, if it's positive, you go up. If it's negative, you go down. All right, so when a is greater than 1, we call it stretched vertically. So think about holding your arms up in a U, and you're reaching to the stars. You're going to get skinnier, okay? Your parabola will get skinny. If it is a fraction between 0 and 1, we call that compressed. So think about getting wider. So you're pressing down to the x-axis, okay? So again, your HK is your vertex of the parabola. So that's this point right here. Okay, axis of symmetry is the x value, because this has an x and y value. The axis of symmetry is your x value. If you were to fold this in half, they're identical on both sides. Okay? So A also determines, depending on if you're upright or flipped over, if you're a regular parabola, you have a minimum point. And if you're flipped over the x-axis, you're going to have a maximum point, okay? So I want you guys to keep your notes in front of you for now to make sure that we understand what we're doing, okay? So when we look at number 5, okay, with your notes of what we just reviewed, okay, this is an H, and I know X lies, so I moved right 4 units. All right, this one, I have an H and a K. This one, X lies, so I move right 3 and up 2. Okay. This one, it's a positive 1, so I'm going to go left 1 and down 3. Okay, so this one does not have an H. So H will be inside the parentheses with a square outside. There's no H, there's no K. So I know that my vertex did not move. But there is an A, and whenever you have an A, you know the shape changed, okay? So this is stretched by a factor of 3. Let's go up. We have 1/8 x squared, okay? Again, when we have a fraction, it's compressed by 1/8. This one, 0.25x squared, okay? That's still a fraction, just written in decimal form, so it's compressed by 0.25. This one, the negative sign reflects it over the x-axis, and we are stretched by a factor of 5. Okay? Here, we're stretched by a factor of 4.2. And here, we, again, are flipped over the x-axis because of our negative. We are compressed by 2/3 because that is a fraction. So once we go to once we go to graph these, okay, so this is the problem that we started with. So description-wise, we knew it moved right 4. There's no A, so it did not change shape. So this is our parent graph right here. So we are basically picking up every point on here and moving it to the right 4. But you don't have to do every point because you know there's no A, so my shape didn't change. So I can go right to my vertex, move it over 4 places, and follow the same points as my parent. Over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4, on both sides. Remember, the axis of symmetry, if there's a point over here, there's a matching one on the other side of your axis of symmetry. Okay, number 6 we said was right 3, up 2. So again, there's no A, so you literally just move your vertex right 3, up 2, and then follow the parent. Over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4 on both sides. Number 7 we said was left 1, down 3. So I go left 1, down 3. Again, there is no A, so it's the same shape as my parent. Now, when you get to where you have a problem and there is an A, I want you to do an XY chart. Okay? So don't think about, oh, I have to do all these numbers. Really, you only need to get 1 point. If you didn't move left or right, or up or down, you know your vertex is 0, 0 already. Okay, so if I find what my point is at 1, I know that there's a matching point on the other side, so I don't even have to put -1 in my XY chart. Okay, and really those are the only points, these 3 points, to draw your parabola that you will need. Okay, number 9 was a compression, so you see how it got wider. And again, XY chart, because there's an A. 10 was also a compression, but not as steep as 9. Number 11. Now, this tricked a lot of people. So when you have parentheses, remember PEMDAS, we do our parentheses first, then we do exponents, okay? So when I plug in a 1, I do 5 times 1 is 5. 5 squared is 25. And then -1 times 25 is -25. So I had to estimate because -25 was way off my paper. So it's super, super skinny and it's reflected over the x-axis. All right, I hope that helps. Have a good day, guys.